Alright, here we are. What's up, guys? I'm Handikillcam, and this is my co-host.
OG Crunkster.
And today we are on episode 4 of Original Gamers Tubecast. Hopefully, officially soon, podcast. And today we're going to be talking about various things. The main thing I want to talk about is the Nintendo NES Classic that was released. I believe it was like last week or this week. Um,
I think it was last week,
it
yeah.
was last week. Yeah, I
I
want to.
think so.
Yeah, I want to talk about that, and then I want to talk about. Mainly, we're gonna be talking about Nintendo because I'm kind of surprised with what's going on with Nintendo. And then Watch Dogs 2 was released yesterday, and it's already getting some craziness. And
Uh-oh.
just some few games. Um, Other than that, and then I believe OG wants to talk about some best TVs, technology. What are the best things to use for gaming? Correct?
Yeah, that's kind of a good summary of that, yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, I guess first we'll start off with how my week was. Okay, so I'm making a disclosure now. I totally lied in last week's episode. I said I was gonna
Totally
stream.
lied.
I totally lied. I said I was gonna stream on Beam. Well, and I was gonna ditch Twitch. Well, I ended up ditching Beam and streaming on Twitch.
Uh-oh.
Because when I went to go and stream on Twitch, first of all, or not Twitch, on Beam, I realized there is no way for me to monitor my stream. Um, and to me that's a
Mm,
problem. I can't. Normally, I will stream and then I'll monitor it on my phone. That way, it's not
right.
using CPU on my computer. Um,
Mm,
that way, there's no lag. Well,
mm,
I tried to do that and there's no way to do that on the app of the Beam app. Like you can't watch your own stream on your phone, which I kind of found that
oh,
kind of weird. So that was
that
an
is weird.
that was a no go. And then, secondly, when I was like, well, screw it, I'll just stream because, I'm pretty much using the same. I'm not changing my bit rate because, I know my good bit rate and everything, so everything should be smooth. No, I started streaming, and luckily I had a friend that was watching me, and he said, dude, you're like lagging all over the place. Like you're like, this is like, well, you need to go back to Twitch or something. Like this is crap. And I was like, okay. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, come to find out, you have to get the good connection with Beam, you have to download their certain software. Okay, which is free, no problem. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do that. Well, I go to do that, and then they're like, well, you have to jump through 4,000 hoops to get this program to work. And what I mean by that is they're telling me that I need to go to my computer's registry, go to the bin, go to the X32 file, and do some crazy stuff. And
Wow.
I'm like, okay, bro. So if I make one false move, I'm gonna mess up my laptop or my computer. And I said, you know
Mm,
what? Bye, Felicia. Ain't doing it. Ain't doing it.
ain't doing it.
Ain't doing it. It ain't worth it because I mean it's not even that it's not even a big platform yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So as much as I like the interface, as much as I like the community, I said no, I'm not gonna do it. So and then mind you, okay, um, for some reason when I went to go back to Twitch, the new OBS was making me lag. So I went back to the old OBS, which is what I'm on now, and I started to realize the reason why it kept crashing on me is because I'm using my webcam. So I'm no longer using my webcam on my stream. Uh,
Wow. A lot of
yeah,
trial and error here.
lot of trial and error, yes. But I did fix my headset, and
Mm,
so everything's good. But the major plus of that was is I finally got the notification in my whisper that the Able Gamers charity, which is the gamers disabilities gamers with disabilities, but they are officially hosting my stream. So basically, it's like if I'm on stream and they're not hosting anybody else's stream, they will automatically get my stream. So that's awesome, and
That is cool.
it'll get broadcasted to like however many followers that they have. So
Mm.
that's cool. Um, and then so that was a big incentive to stay on Twitch because if I not stayed on Twitch,
Hmm.
that would have never happened. Number two,
Since you did mention that,
uh
I
huh.
kind of want to just chime in real quick. Something that Hearthstone allowed us to do a while back, and it was in beta, and I'm not 100% sure if they're going to continue with it,
Mhm.
but I'll just bring it up now since you did bring up streaming and how you had to go through a bunch of hoops. Hearthstone has a thing, or had a thing, I should say, where you could play on your computer and actually stream on Facebook, which was really cool. That's actually how, more or less, what convinced me to start making YouTube videos. Actually, was I had it was one morning I woke up, and I think at the time I was unemployed, and I went just said I'm just going to play some Hearthstone for a while. So I log in, and all of a sudden there's this big update, and then of course after I'm done updating, I'm getting this thing about beta and streaming and all that. So I kind of play with it a little bit, and kind of like what you said, you're actually allowed to use your phone to monitor your chat while you're playing the game so that you don't lose frames. So
Right,
that's
right.
awesome.
Yes,
I
yes.
really hope that that Hearthstone keeps that, or I should say Blizzard keeps it, because um, for those that are need practice when it comes to streaming without going live and messing up, YouTube, or not YouTube but Facebook, using the beta version of streaming is a good way to go as far as getting practice. Now I think they discontinued it for a while, but hopefully they bring it back. So I kind of wanted to bring that up since you did mention that. So that is a
Definitely,
cool idea.
definitely. And another thing that Hearthstone also did, I don't know if you know this, but they also made it to where you can actually have live chat, where me and you can talk like this while we're playing
Yeah,
Hearthstone. So I
I
I
saw that
I
too.
saw that, and then I thought that was pretty interesting.
That is
Um,
pretty cool.
yeah, and I want to stream on Facebook actually, but every time I go to stream on Facebook, my Facebook stream key never works. So I don't know if it's
Okay.
on Facebook's end or what. So yeah, I mean, just for giggles. Like I'm not gonna make a move to Facebook. I'm strictly staying on Twitch now.
Right.
I'm pretty much convinced to stay on Twitch. And then to get back to my week, so I decided, okay, so I decided to go full fledged, right? Like if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this all out, right? So I said, you know what? I'm gonna commit to a schedule. I'm gonna stream from 10 to 1 every day, except for the days that we do the podcast. And
Hmm.
so, okay, so I did, and then I've been watching this guy named Pooch, right? And he has this service to where like if you sub to him or whatever, like you get eligible for more giveaways, and he'll follow your channel back, all kinds of stuff, right? For only
Hmm.
$5, right? And
Okay.
and they possibly might raid your channel. Well, I was streaming, I believe it was the day before yesterday, and then all of a sudden, like, I had freaking like double digit views and double digit people in my chat. And like,
Nice.
so okay, so I went from 90 so I originally had 98 followers on Twitch. Now I'm up to 110. So,
Nice.
yeah, and like these guys, shout out to Pooch. I gotta make a disclaimer. Pooch was already been helping me before I even gave him the $5, but
Hmm.
he was just like, I guess he felt like since he's seen like I'm making an investment, he really wants. He sees that I'm taking it serious, and sometimes that's what people need to see. They need to see if you're really gonna take this serious or not, because a lot of times people are not gonna waste their time for people that are just gonna be like, oh, it's whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
And shout out to Pooch and the Pooch Pack. They showed me mad love, and it was just an amazing experience. And yeah,
Nice.
it's just been awesome. So yeah, man, that's pretty much been my week as far as that goes. Oh, and then the next thing I lied about. Remember when I said to go to Ankbot and I got the Ankbot? Well, I had the Ank bot for when for when they come and raid my stream, and that bot totally like let me down. Like I couldn't get nothing
Oh,
accomplished or anything. And Pooch was like, "Bro, you need to get the deep bot." And I was like, "Yeah, but," I was like, "I don't want to pay $10 a month." And he's like, "No, bro, you don't pay $10 a month. You just pay a $10 one-time fee." He said, "Trust me, just do it." And well, it wasn't just him; it was like everybody in this chat. And I was like, "Okay."
mm,
So I did it, and like, I actually love this chat. I actually love this bot. Like, this bot is like really, really awesome, really,
oh,
really
nice.
handy, accessible. I must say. Um,
Handy, accessible.
Handy accessible. It gets the handy accessible pass. Um, so rather than that, like man, it's been a pretty awesome week as far as that goes. And then we got another shout out this week on another podcast, so that was pretty awesome. So
Nice.
shout out, thank you again, Eviscerated Podcast, for giving Handy and all his Handy people follow and shout outs and stuff and what we're doing and recognizing that we're making moves. Really much appreciated. Um, so yeah, the next move is to possibly try to get this into a podcast form, Mr. OG.
Okay.
Possibly,
Not a bad idea.
possibly. It
Possibly.
it quickens production, per se. But other than that, man, yeah, that's been my week, man. It's been pretty
That's really
awesome.
cool, man.
Pretty
I
awesome.
had to apologize. My week was not nearly as eventful as yours, but I kind of took a weekend off and just chilled. I decided to spend the weekend with the woman because they're on the background playing a lot of Hearthstone. If you see my last video, I basically was at rank 14 finally, so that was pretty cool. I've been struggling at 14, but I've been
Yeah.
doing a lot of test chambering in the background, and I've been doing a lot. I watched a lot of videos from some of the top players like Trump. So shout outs to Trump and
Not
a few
Donald
others
Trump,
like
by the way.
Eloise. And not Donald Trump. No, this is actually somebody who's really he's a legendary player. He plays a lot. He does well in tournaments, and I do follow him on YouTube as far as his channel goes. And then there's also this other girl I watched named I think her name is Eloise or something, but she's I think she's Japanese and she does play really well. So I've been watching some of her matches and kind of been making some builds based off of what they have. Now I don't have the collection that they have, but I been doing the best with what I have, and it's been working out. So I've been watching a lot of video. I've been doing a lot of like just stuff in the background, trying to make what I have better. Which is also why I have been putting out a lot of videos this week, is mainly because I've been really trying to get my Hearthstone right. Because I probably am going to try to push to go pro, like our friend advised me. So
Yeah,
I need
do it.
to do what I need to do, watch videos, and you know, uh, and start winning a lot, and we'll get there one day. So one day on my YouTube channel, you'll see me actually get higher and higher ranks, and you'll actually see some really, really good matches. So I'm looking forward to
I'm
that.
excited. Like I've been watching it, man, and I've been critiquing you. I don't know much about Hearthstone, but I've been critiquing you, and I noticed the one little thing, man. The only thing I gotta say is, man, you overthink stuff sometimes. That's what you know what I mean? Because
Oh yeah,
like but hey, man, you gonna get it though, man. I was very surprised. I forget exactly which match it was, but I was like very surprised. Like there was like this one match, and you had him, and then all of a sudden like it just like one card just changed the whole game, and I was like, man, you had it, but
oh
oh
yeah.
well, back to the
That
drawing
happens
board.
too.
Back to the
Yeah,
drawing
that
board.
happens very, very often, and that's why the game's so good. Is like you could be winning, and all of a sudden, one little thing will just throw everything off. So
Definitely.
that's just how it is. That's why you gotta. Sometimes you gotta play tight because I think I was playing very aggressive,
Mhm.
and I should have probably held back a little bit. Had I, just taken my time and waited and just kind of built up my hand, I might have been able to do it what he had coming later because I pretty much blew my load, and then all of a sudden, like I had nothing left. I know it's kind of funny I mentioned it like that, but it's
Yeah,
pretty
he sure
cool.
did say blow his load. I'm gonna have to put something there right when you say blow your load.
Oh, of course you are.
I'm gonna have to do something. But yeah, dude, that's pretty awesome, man. And for those that don't know, we are going to PAX. We've confirmed we're going to PAX. I believe it's on the 27th, correct?
Yeah, the 27th to the 29th. We're going to be going on that Saturday,
Right,
for sure.
right.
So, hope to see some people there, and check out what's going on at that venue. This will actually be the first time we'll be attending PAX. So,
Yes.
hopefully this will be a good thing. I think this is San Antonio's third year
I
for PAX,
I have no
if I'm not
idea.
mistaken. It's actually kind of new, for San Antonio, because I mean PAX East I think was like the big thing, and all the other ones, but PAX South, which is what the San Antonio one is a new thing that just started 3 years ago. I heard that the first year was kind of rough, but the second year was fantastic, and I expect it to be good this year as well. And I'm just looking forward to being there.
Yeah, me too, and I hope we can make it like an annual thing. That'd be awesome. The more we grow, the more
Mm-hmm.
we go.
Agreed.
And we picked up a third friend of ours. He's gonna go. He's also a gamer. Um, but he's not big into gaming as we are. But he's telling me now that he possibly want to get into streaming, so that will be interesting. Um,
Mm.
that will be very interesting. Cause
Yeah, it will.
more likely I'll have to be tech support. But you know,
Yep. Again.
again, and I'm still tech support. But it's all good. He's a good friend. We've known him for a long time, and it's gonna be fun and interesting. In
Mm.
fact, he's inspired me to make an email for the show, meaning an email address for the show, because he hit me with a question, and there's no way we're gonna be able to answer this question this week, but I want to put the question out there so possibly either me or you could possibly answer this question next week.
Sure.
He's a Call of Duty fan, of course, but this doesn't necessarily stick to Call of Duty itself. This sticks to all first-person shooters. And he was saying how, when you have two people shooting the person at the same time, how does the game know who to give the kill to and who to give the assist to? And I was like, that's a pretty good question.
Well, actually, I might be able to answer that.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I mean, I've played shooters in the past. Typically, whoever gets the kill shot gets the kill, and whoever more or less didn't get the kill shot gets the assist.
Right, but what if they're both aiming at the same spot at the same time and shoot at the very same time?
Well, there's a lot of geometry with that one and math because I mean, basically, it depends on the distance
Uh
each
huh.
person was to that person.
Uh huh.
So if I'm like 5 meters short or shorter than he is, and I'm going to get the kill, I
Uh huh.
mean, well, actually, no. What will happen is, I mean, it depends on the health too. Because if my shot hits him but doesn't kill him, but then the one like a second later hits, that means the other guy gets the kill. So I mean, it still works. It's just a matter of distance and
The
what you're
quickness,
shooting
right?
with and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's really what it is. Whoever gets the actual kill shot will
Hmm.
get the actual kill, and then whoever help will get the assist. I mean, that's pretty much what that is.
See, because what brought up this question was is I literally had a game, um, that I had 10 kills and 10 assists, and he was like, "How did you get 10 assists?" And I'm like, "I don't know, it just happens, bro, but I'm just glad to get my mark on him." And he was like,
Yeah.
"Well, why did he give you 10 kills and then you get 10 assists?" I was like, "I don't know." And then he just asked me that question, and I was like, "Man, you inspired me to make an email for the show." I was like, "You're gonna have to listen to the show now." Oh, and speaking of which, I have an embarrassing moment, and you're gonna understand this.
Sure.
In my stream when I got freaking raided in my stream, I was like overwhelmed and excited, so I wasn't really paying attention, kind of. But I was, but I
Oh.
wasn't. And I was playing Call of Duty, but I went 1 in 24.
Oh no.
Oh, it was the worst.
Wow.
Yeah, so they all were. It was all in fun, but they were all cracking on me, and I was like, man, I was more focused on my stream. I couldn't believe it was happening. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'm known as 1 in
Well, don't
24
feel bad.
guy.
I mean, I've seen other people kind of do the similar things. Like when I was watching a lot of YouTube when I was unemployed, there would be people on YouTube rating each other. There would be like, for example, when I was watching No Man's Sky, there was a guy named Stat. He used to raid this girl named One Shot Girl all the time, and then every time she got, raided, she'd do like a little raid rap, which I thought was kind of cool.
Wow, that's
And
dope.
and they would get excited and all of a sudden forget what's going on in the game. So I don't feel embarrassed. That actually happens, and it's cool. Like no one's gonna hate on you. Well, no one important's gonna hate on
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I was like, oh my god, I was freaking out. But yeah, so
Mm,
that's a little side note of that. But yeah, that what our friends said, that really inspired me to get an email for the show. So if anybody has any questions like that or anything, just email us. I'll probably have the link in the description below, but please watch the video. Don't just look for the description. Don't be me. uh,
don't be you.
um. I have some few news topics I want to talk about. First things first, the little mini Nintendo is out, and for some reason Nintendo didn't make enough. And
Didn't make enough.
yes, they're like my friend actually pre-ordered his and bought his
Mm,
on Amazon, and they told him, "Oh, we're sorry, but we can't give you your order right now. Please keep on the lookout to make sure when we have more in stock."
wow.
Yeah.
He's probably not up happy right now.
Oh, he's not, and they're talking about that. It's gonna be a long time before they have really in stock. It'll be past Christmas.
Mm,
Um, so and apparently you can go on YouTube and watch this video and you can see what's inside it. So it's not really apparently there's not a lot of technology in it, which
okay.
I don't know if you know about the mini Nintendo. All it's a little Nintendo system, right? It looks like a regular Nintendo system, but it's smaller. Like it's really itty
Mm,
bitty. And it comes preloaded with 30 games. You can't add and you can't delete any of the games off the system. That's it.
right.
That's all it is. Um, and the cord is only 28 inches long for the remote. And if you want a longer
Okay.
cord, you have to get extensions. And you will need extensions because 28 inches long is not long.
Mm,
You have to basically sit in front of your TV. So, but my thoughts on this, I think Nintendo did it on purpose to create hype. Um,
okay.
because when it first was coming out, like not a lot of people are just like, whatever. But now
Okay.
now that like people are trying to get it and they're like, oh, what, you can't get it, and it's some in a quote unquote rare item right now, like more people
Mm,
want it.
okay. So they're kind of playing everyone on purpose.
Right. That's what I feel like. I don't know what you would think.
Uh, I don't think it's a smart idea, to be
No, I
honest.
don't think it. I think it's stupid.
Just because at the end of the day, all you're doing is aggravating people. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you don't want to hype up this big thing and then not have enough in stock. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't understand really the logic to it. It's just a bad move. And there might have been another reason too, like maybe they didn't expect so many sales
That's what
for
they
whatever
say.
reason.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
But either way, like if you're not expecting a lot of sales, then you probably shouldn't have released it yet. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
Or you should just go hard or go home, like just mass quantity like you would any other system.
Yeah.
And if the sales are great, great. If not, at least you tried. But I think it's better to you know have enough in stock and be able to sell than to sell out and then make a bunch of people angry that they can't get your product.
Right, yeah. I totally
You know,
agree. I
so
totally
and
agree.
that's really just coming more from a business standpoint because I mean I used to manage a comic store many years ago, so I kind of understand how it feels to run out of stock and how upset people can get.
Especially when you've
So
already paid
trust me,
for it. Especially when you
yeah,
already paid.
especially when you pre-ordered it, and that's even happened to me before because back when I was physically collecting anime, um, at the time Samurai Champloo was new to the states, and I was getting the latest one every. I think it was every. I'm sure it was every month or every week. I think it was
Oh, I
once a month it
remember
came
that.
out.
Yeah, I remember you
And
getting those things.
what happened was is I used to get mine at Sam Goody because I used to work in a mall,
Right.
and Sam Goody was also in the mall, so it was convenient to get it there. Well, what happened was is actual anime company because they kept releasing their product. But what
Mm-hmm.
happened was Sam Goody was closing down. And
Right.
even though I had already prepaid for it, not only did they not have the item that I had required, they were also trying to not even give me a refund.
Wow.
So, I mean, of course, there was a lot of bad words said and threats and whatnot, and all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure you got
Not
OG
really
Crunk
taking no
stuff.
hold, but yeah, it was a side of me that
Uh,
I'm not proud of because, I mean, it's just messed up. But I mean, I eventually got mine, so it worked out at the end of the day. But
right.
yeah, and like I said, since I've been through it, I will tell you, don't underproduce, overproduce, always
Over.
overproduce
Yeah.
because
Always.
even if you don't sell out immediately, that doesn't mean you won't sell more later.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. And it gives something in hand. Like I just never
Hmm.
like this is one thing I never understood. Like GameStop. Like why? Because you know how like they'll promote a game before it's out. Why promote an empty box? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
give me like substance. I need substance. Like you know I need to see it. But it's just
Hmm.
marketing nowadays. And then apparently, well, it's the prices have already been leaked for the Nintendo Switch. Are you ready?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
The Nintendo Switch is going to be $299.99.
299.
$299 for a
Huh.
handheld. For a handheld. I mean, pretty much. I mean,
Uh, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, now, granted, your most of your console releases are about four, maybe $500, but 500 is a weird number. I
for
don't know how I feel about that.
for a hand, like I can almost understand a console, but for a handheld, I just don't I just don't see it. And it's not like people are gonna be playing this mostly as a console anyway. So you can't say this is really a console. Um, you know. So
I think maybe it's not necessarily the fact that it's a handheld, but maybe because of the technology that's inside of it that's making the price high.
yeah, yeah, it's true, but I don't know, man. I was just like, wow, it's a lot of money for a handheld, in my opinion. In my opinion.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because I mean, back in the day, I mean, you could probably like when Game Boy first dropped, I think there were like $60 for the
You could buy
actual
a 3DS
handheld.
cheaper than $300. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so yeah, it is a bit high, but I don't know all of the specs and what all you can do with it because I only done kind of the basic research. I didn't really look at like every little thing you can do. So
Yeah, me
maybe there's
neither.
some special things you can do with the Switch that makes it worth it. But from what I've seen, I don't know. I don't know.
But watch this. How much you want to bet? They don't. I bet you they don't run out of stock with the Switches.
No, of course
I
not.
bet you they got millions of them things. Yeah.
Just chilling.
Yeah, just chilling, man. And the guys, this is gonna be a Nintendo sode right now, a Nintendo episode, Nintendo sode. So if you don't want to hear about Nintendo, I'm sorry, but this is mainly what I got to talk about because Nintendo's got a lot going on right now. Um, it's really crazy. They're trying to make moves, I guess. But speaking of Nintendo Switch, the Zelda game that was supposed to be the launch title with the Nintendo Switch is now being once again held back.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
That's exactly what the crowd wants.
Yes. Um they're saying that it's probably gonna be like way probably I think they said May of next year, possibly. So they're talking about like 6 or 7 months after the game's been released. So what they're trying to do is they're trying instead of having Zelda come in and be the launch title, they're gonna have Mario. Apparently Mario's gonna have its own title on the Switch.
No Switch.
The Switch, and it's not Mario Run. It's a totally different
Oh,
game.
okay.
It's a totally different game.
Well, I guess that's debatable whether that was a good move or not because I understand that Mario has been kind of Nintendo's mascot for the
Right.
longest time, but Zelda has, or the Legend of Zelda series has also been one of Nintendo's strong points.
Right.
I think it would have been perfectly fine letting Mario take a backside and letting Legend of Zelda kind of be the front end for once, because that's a popular one too. Like, why not let them be the front face?
Okay, well, I'm about to answer that question for you. I was hoping you was gonna ask why. Because something has happened with the game that it is not loading certain things correctly, and the one good thing that Nintendo always does is when they make a game, it's good. Like meaning it's not broken. Like
Right,
you're not gonna get a Nintendo game on release day and be complaining, "Oh, when's the next update coming out?" because I can't play the game. You'll never get that
right.
with Nintendo, and that's one thing that Nintendo has over everybody in the business is that when they make a game, it's a solid game, and so they're saying that there's something solid not about the game, and it's the biggest Zelda game in history. It's probably going to be the most biggest open world game in uh, that that we've seen. I know you've never played Skyrim, but to give references to people that have played Skyrim, it is two Skyrim worlds put together. Two Skyrim open worlds put together. That is amazingly huge. And what you're going to be
Okay.
able to do in the game is going to be amazing. So I understand it. It's just it's just bad timing, Nintendo. That's all I got to say. You're not looking pretty right now. Um, with everything going on with you, and then you got, the whole the back release on the NES, and then you got the Zelda thing. I kind of want to see you do good, but hopefully with this Mario title, you'll do amazing. Because they are saying that the Mario franchise alone, including with a Mario RPG, which I know was one of your favorites, that's why I said that.
Absolutely.
Um, Mario has made at least over the franchise has made over $8 billion. So
I believe that.
yes, they could pretty much make anything with Mario on it and it would sell. So
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, they've done like, Olympics with Mario and Sonic. I mean, they've
yeah,
done all kinds of Mario spin-offs that are all successful. I
yeah,
mean, Mario is a name brand, it's franchise.
right, yeah. Mario is like, I mean, I still play Mario to this day. Mario is like the best. Um, but I mean, we'll have to see what Nintendo decides to do on these other situations. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about with Nintendo, what was it? Hmm, I can't seem to remember it right now. There was one more thing
Uh,
about Nintendo.
the
Oh,
brain fart continues.
the brain fart continues. Well, while I don't remember it right now, I'll go to Watch Dogs release. For those that don't know, Watch Dogs 2 has been released. It was released yesterday. And already it's got major problems. Yeah, for one, you can't play online, and
Hmm.
that's one of the main reasons why you get Watch Dogs is to play online. For those that don't know, and which I know OG doesn't know, Watch Dogs is like a more technology version of GTA, which means it's an open world like GTA. You could steal and do all these kinds of things and get cars and stuff, but you can hack anything in the game. Like meaning like you can go and hack a car and make it do stuff or hack a freaking telephone pole or whatever. Like you can just do whatever you want in the game. And on release like the multiplayer is broken, and because of the reason why the multiplayer is broken is not necessarily because the game is broken, but Watch Dogs the company of Watch Dogs 2 is might be getting in trouble with insider trading, so this might be
Uh-oh.
the last game. I don't know the full details. I was watching the video before we did it, but like it was like a bunch of stuff that didn't make sense to me, but I just know they're getting in trouble with insider trading. So if you're a
Hmm.
Watch Dogs fan, um, you might want to pick this up because it might be the last game you're gonna get. But it's gonna be broken right now until they decide to fix it. So yeah,
Hmm.
and you might be stuck on your phone for a while playing. games. And that brings me back to Nintendo because I remember real quick.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so we got Mario Run coming out for not Android but iPhone. The price has been released. Um, it's free to play, but to play the full game, you gotta pay $9 to pay the full game, which makes no sense to me because if it's free to play, then why do I gotta pay $9 to play the full game? So it's saying
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense because the idea of free to play, and me being the mobile guy, I would be the expert here, is that the idea is to play the entire game for free.
right,
But if you want perks or if you want to do better faster, then
right,
you have the option of spending money. The idea of free to play is, at least in the mobile game franchise, is to be able to do everything you want without having to pay, with
right.
just steady grinding. So if you have to pay $9 to finish the game, it's not free to play. It's
Yeah,
simple as that.
yeah, yeah. I think what they said was, and I'll link the video in the description below. Please watch our video first. But you get to play the first three levels, which okay, and then to play the rest of the levels, you have to pay $9.
Yeah, then it's not free to play. It's as simple as that. And
Yeah,
that's a bad marketing scheme. Is what that is.
bad Nintendo, bad,
That
bad.
that was bad. That's really bad.
I,
So,
yeah,
ugh,
I don't
that's
know.
disappointing.
Yeah, that's very disappointing. I don't know though. I'm starting to think. I don't know if it's on Nintendo side or iPhone side or Apple side. Sorry, not iPhone, but you know,
Well, now one thing I have noticed since you did bring out the fact that it was coming out for iPhone or iOS and not Android yet,
yeah,
that seems to be a recurring theme with mobile games. Is that a lot of times you'll be able to play it on the iPhone and then you'll be able to play it on Android later. That's exactly what happened with Hearthstone, as a matter of fact. When the
true.
game first came out, you could play it on PC and you could play it on, the iPhones, but you couldn't play it on Android until like months later, which really sucked because I really wanted to play the game, and turns out that I had to wait so many months in order for me to do it. And at the time, I wasn't really messing with the computer, so I literally just waited and waited and waited until it was finally out for Android, and then I downloaded it and started playing it ever since.
Yeah, you actually got me
But
into it actually. Um,
yeah, that's
the
cool. Yeah, I got a couple of friends who play. There's
mhm,
about, I think, 5 or 6 people who play.
mhm,
One who's constantly doing well. I mean, I think right now the one that does the best is currently in the single digits, if I'm not mistaken,
man,
right now.
man. You need to watch
His
his
tag
videos.
is a watch or something, but that's what I do sometimes. Actually, like if I see he's playing, I'll actually watch his games,
Mhm.
and then he'll like message me here and there. I've even thought about doing this. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet, but I've thought about on one of my videos, just kind of like rating him and kind of watching him and kind of commentating on his play,
That'd be
just to
interesting.
be different. So that's something I've considered doing.
That's
We'll see
interesting.
what happens there. But
You
yeah,
should.
he's an old friend of mine. He's really, really, really cool, and we used to hang out and play trading card games together.
Mhm.
But then he ended up joining the Merchant Marines, so I never saw him again until like, well, I still haven't seen him, but we got in touch via Facebook years later, and we've been, kind of chatting off and on ever since. But yeah, I mean, I will eventually do that in one of my videos. It's actually not a bad idea, just so
No.
you can see some like one of my friends actually doing the deed. You know what I mean? Seeing what it takes to get there,
That,
and it might be educational for me too. So
right. It'll be fun to. Your commentary is just hilarious, dude. Like it makes me laugh. Like my wife's like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm watching one of the white videos."
that's funny. And a lot of times I don't even really plan it or try it. I just kind of go with the flow, and then when something happens, I'm like, all right, let me take advantage of this moment. And that's kind of what it is. You just gotta take advantage of the moment. That's how you. That's how it works, more or less. So, but yeah,
Really, really having technical difficulties today. But as I was saying, I'm definitely enjoying your videos.
glad to hear that, man. And I'm gonna keep doing it, and then I'm gonna get better myself. so that
Yeah.
you can see me rise to the top. One day it'll happen. It might take a while, but it's going to happen. And whoever's been following since the beginning will be able to say, I knew this guy when he first started.
I'd be like,
When he was making mistakes, when he was stuck on rank 14 or whatever it is, and now he's legendary. I was there since the beginning. Like,
mm-hmm.
those are going to be the hardcore ones as far as like on my group, I can tell.
Definitely, definitely. Um, and speaking of transactions and microtransactions, there was one thing that you just brought it to my attention. Call of Duty decided to bring back COD points. COD points originally started in Black Ops 3, and it's basically where you pay a certain amount of money, real money, to get coins to purchase supply drops, which then give you guns. Um, I don't know. Like, I mean, a lot of people hate on it, but I mean, it doesn't really bother me that much. I mean, it's pretty much in every game you play. I mean, so why
So,
not
what
cut?
are people complaining about? Like, what do they like about it?
Because it pretty much makes the game pay to win.
Mm, okay.
Okay?
I can kind of understand the gripe then, as far as the pay to win. So, well, let me rephrase it. I mean, you can still grind to win too. You don't necessarily have to pay, right?
Right, no, you necessarily don't have to pay, but it just increases your chance the more of getting the gun that you want.
Oh, eh,
Yeah.
I I can understand the gripe, but I'm okay with that idea just because that's how a lot of the free to play games are too. Is
Right.
you can do well without spending money if you just play enough, and there are some who, for example, don't have time to play much, so they spend money so that they can keep ahead. So I'm actually okay with that idea.
Me too, but I don't know what it is, but people like feel like that's like mobile's world, and they feel like mobile's tendencies coming over to the console world is like taboo, but I'm like, I mean, it is what it is. Like,
People seem to have a weird, like, I don't want to call it hatred, but kind of a lot of people kind of discriminate on the whole mobile gaming idea. They're like,
yeah,
it's kind of like when back in the day when people who played consoles versus people who played PCs. How they kind of hate on each other. Now it's the same thing, except for now mobile game has been thrown in the mix. So like, what's this? I mean, why don't you just PS4 is so much better, and this and that. What people aren't understanding, it's not a matter of what system or what you know is better or not as far as processing. It's about really just your lifestyle. We have different types of gamers. Not every gamer is the same way.
right,
Not everybody has time to sit down and play on their PS4 all day. You
right,
know what I mean? Even though I plan on buying a PS4, I'm not even going to be playing it that much. My girlfriend's going to be playing it more than I am
yeah,
because I'm going to be always at work or doing things. So, the only way that I get my fix is through my mobile gaming because that's something I can do while I'm traveling, while I'm out, doing my thing. You
right.
know what I mean? So, there shouldn't really be any kind of discrimination amongst gamers, but it's a thing. And now that I thought about it, it's a really really cheesy series on Netflix, but I'm gonna plug it anyway because I actually like it as cheesy as it is. If you've seen a show called, I think it's called Video Games High School or Video Games High, something like that,
Uh
that
huh.
pretty much touches on that subject. I mean, basically, it's a series about literally a school for people who play video games,
Wow.
and they're actually segregated. There's like the RPGers, there's like the shooter people, there's like the farm kind of people who do like the farm and the Sims games and stuff like that. Like they actually have people segregated in those groups, so it actually touches on that subject really, really well. It's really cheesy, but it's funny and it's awesome, and I loved
I'll
it.
have to check it
I
out.
think
I
they have
have
like two or three
Netflix.
seasons.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have.
If you have Netflix, High School High, it's just like it's silly, super cheesy, but it's freaking awesome.
I'll have to check
Absolutely
it
love
out.
it.
Like, yeah, like I totally agree. Like, I don't understand why gaming can't just be gaming. Like, what difference does it make? As long as you're gaming, that's all that matters.
Right.
I mean, 'cause I got PC and I got console, but I enjoy console better. I like the fact that I don't have to upgrade anything. You know,
Yeah,
you know,
true.
you know. Speaking of upgrading,
Hmm.
Mr.
Well, since
LG.
we're gonna kind of go there, something I kind of wanted to touch base on because I was actually last night at work. It was actually a little bit slower, so I was able to do a little window shopping,
Uh-huh.
and I saw some really interesting things. Basically, we have what's called an employee purchase program where we can actually buy stuff, and instead of like having to use a credit card or cash or whatever, we could just be deducted from our paycheck, which is pretty cool. So
Right.
basically, it's like having errands, except for we don't have to pay any like fees or anything. You literally just buy it for whatever the price, kind of get a deal, which is kind of cool.
That's cool.
Anyway, um, I saw a couple of interesting like TVs
Mhm.
that for those who are big nuts about graphics and having the best and latest and everything that you experience, there is what's called a 4K TV.
Yes.
Um, I don't know if you know anything about 4K TVs or not, but
I know a little.
base a little bit. The basic way to explain what 4K TV is, it's more about the resolution.
Right.
Basically, it's four times better than 1080p. That's the
Right.
basic, most simple way to really um, to describe it. Now, they did a Game Informer thing on the Game Informer show a while back, talking about potentially. I think Sony was talking about doing 4K games.
Right.
So basically, if you had a 4K TV, you can get the best experience of those 4K games.
Right.
Um, One thing I'm going to warn people about is 4K TVs are very expensive. If you want to get the bare basic bones, just the bare necessities, I think the lowest you're going to pay is probably $800. And that's probably not including, getting the Geek Squad to set it up for you or whatever. This is
Mhm.
just buying the
Mhm.
product itself and the warranty. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? But if you want the highest of the high tech stuff, you could pay I think the highest one I saw was like 5 grand.
Mm.
Now, the reason it was 5 grand is because it was a LED UHD um, 4K. I think it was like one of those curved TVs or
I
whatever.
don't. Okay. So I don't mean to stop you, but please explain to me what is the whole point of a curved TV? Like that doesn't look appealing. Like it doesn't look like it would help me in gaming at all.
As far as gaming, it really doesn't. For
Okay.
a curved TV is more for people who have a living room set up to where people are sitting in certain angles or sections where they wouldn't normally be able to see the TV very well.
Okay.
So with a curved TV, it somewhat eliminates that problem.
Okay.
I'm still not sold on the idea. I don't particularly care for curved TVs, nor will I ever get one.
No.
But um, but yeah, that is a thing too. But yeah, I mean, these TVs are expensive. As far as 4K technology, I mean, I'll be honest, it's awesome. It's good that we've come this far, but I don't think it's worth it at
I
the
haven't
moment.
seen 4K in person yet, so.
I haven't seen it in person either. I've only just heard things about
Mhm.
it and done a little bit of research here and there.
Mhm.
But yeah, like if you are a big graphic nut, I mean, you want like the best like picture, color, quality, sound, all that stuff. 4K TV right now, it's where it's at. It's just it's nuts from what I've read.
Right.
And the speeds are just crazy. I think it's like 4 milliseconds
Wow.
for responses, which is really fast.
That's
Basically, what
perfect
that
for
means.
gaming. For
It
those.
is perfect for gaming. So as
Mhm.
far as gaming is concerned, I mean your stuff's gonna be like boom,
Mhm.
boom, boom.
Yep.
I mean you're still gonna have to have like good software as far as what you're using. If
Right, of course.
but yeah, like 4K TVs, if you're really into graphics and good, just good quality overall, it's the way to go. But financially, I don't think it's worth it yet. I think that
No.
if you have an HD TV, that's all you need.
Right.
'Cause honestly, HD TV or most of your smart TVs too have HD as well. So if you have a smart TV or just a regular, HD TV, you're perfectly fine in gaming right now. There are not many 4K games that's going to be coming out yet anyway, so you're
No.
not going to really be behind. So just spend $1,000 less and just get like a smart TV. They're only like between 400 and maybe like 800, depending on what you're trying to get.
Yeah, I actually
Um,
got my 60-inch flat. It's not a
mhm.
smart TV, but I got a 60-inch flat plasma HD TV for brand new $200. So,
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
That's real good.
To speak a little bit on it, cause I do know a little bit, and I feel like people need to know this. There are two different types of um age. Okay, so what makes it 4K for the systems like for Xbox and PS4? So they have HDRs. They're called. Okay,
Yep, HDR. That's right.
HDR. Okay, depending on what system you have, if you have a if you have a PS4, only certain TVs can use the 4K technology depending on which kind of HDR. So like your Xbox is gonna be your Samsung and your LG. Your PS4 is gonna be your Vizio and one other one. I can't think of the name. But you have to make sure that you know this because if not, you'll go to get your TV and spend all this money on a 4K TV and find out that your HDR is not compatible with your console or with your system, and then you just don't get the 4K experience.
Mm-hmm.
And which kind of sucks because that's the main reason why you're buying a 4K TV, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The
Yep.
other thing I want to touch base on is that the PS4, the PS Pro right now, the PS4 Pro right now, if you're going to go and buy a PS4 Pro for the holidays for the 4K experience, wait. Um, they actually just reported this, and I wasn't gonna report it because, um, I wanted to know a little bit more research. But since you've brought up 4K, right now when you plug in the specified HDR TV with the PS4 Pro, it's not picking up the connections that it's supposed to, and it's just not. It's just the connections are not picking up. Even if you unplug it and plug it back in, it's just not working, and it's just something flawed in the system with the day one systems of the PS4 Pros. So if you're thinking about getting a PS4 Pro with a 4K TV, you might want to hold off at least for a good 3 months, 3 to 4 months, because like a lot of people are complaining about it. A lot because they're spending all these money in 4K TVs, like you said, and then and the PS4 Pro, which it makes their games go to 4K quality. Their games don't start at 4K quality. Right now, there's no system on the market that actually plays 4K games. It will boost the quality up to 4K, but the starting resolution of the game is not 4K. That's going to be
Mm-hmm.
later. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up, because you were talking about price. Well, actually, there is on Microsoft website for Black Friday, you can buy a 4K TV. It's like it's like really cheap 4K. It's like really cheap 4K. You can buy one for $500. So if you can get
Yeah.
it, go ahead and get it. But yeah, I'm not getting 4K for a long time.
Yeah.
Nah.
I have no interest in 4K, at least not yet. I'm okay with HD. I mean, I have two smart TVs at home, and they do just well. I love the quality that I'm getting already, and I've never really been that big on graphics to begin with, but it's nice to have something good to look at. But I don't need to have the latest and greatest, especially when it's as high as it is right now. One thing too that I kind of wanted to bring up, and this is just really kind of random. I don't think anyone should ever do this, but
An outdoor
basically it's
TV.
weatherproof.
Wow.
Um, so you could have it out in the rain, the snow, all that stuff, and the stuff that I guess that's there keeps it from being damaged or reaching its core processor. And it also has a reflective screen to where you won't see the glare with the sun.
That's kind
So
of
that's
cool.
really cool. So if you ever wanted as a one-time thing, like play video games outside without having to get a projector or anything like that, that's an interesting way to go. But it is an expensive way to go because that TV was also about, I want to say it was like 3 or 4 grand. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a lot of money.
Jesus. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
well, I mean, it kind of makes sense just because you're able to watch TV outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like, a regular TV that you would normally get. This is something special, something different that you would not normally get with a TV.
Yeah.
So, to have that kind of technology, yeah, it should be a few grand. So,
Yeah.
I have nothing against that. I'm not
And
recommending that you get it, but
no.
if you can afford it, you just want to have a random experience, I mean, there you go.
Yeah, and if like you're having a barbecue or something like that, and
There
you
you go.
just
Yeah, if you're having a barbecue, you could have like the big screen outside, people gaming while you're barbecuing. You know
yeah,
what I
that'd be
mean?
cool. Yeah, yeah, definitely gaming. Um, and yeah, people will be like, well, you could put your TV outside, but if you're in a humid area like we are, 'cause we live in Texas, and it
Mhm.
gets really humid. My grandfather did that one time, and he put a TV outside, and because it was
Mhm.
humid outside, it killed the TV. So,
Yep.
you don't want to do
And
that.
it's not even just the weather as far as rain and all that. It's also like there are particles in the outside that could potentially ruin your TV. It's some kind of a salt thing
Really?
that happens. So that could also damage your TVs and stuff like that, which is why you're not supposed to put any normal TV outside.
Right.
Um, because you really risk it's a risk no matter what the weather is if you do a regular TV outside. So just don't do it.
Yeah, just don't put your TV outside. Although I do want to get a projector and be you and a few others and we can go project something on the side of a house and play. We gotta do
That
that,
would
man.
be cool. Yeah.
I don't know what game we would do, but it would be awesome.
It'll probably be something old school because I did see a little thing on Facebook a while back where they had a picture of someone playing. I'm not sure if it was Mario Kart or GoldenEye, but they had like the 4 people playing, and it was actually big, big enough to where everyone could actually see like the whole screen,
Mm,
as far as
yeah,
one side of it. So it wasn't awkward or anything. So that's kind of cool. You can play some old school stuff like that.
right.
You just have to know what you're doing as far as getting all that set up.
Speaking of old school, and this will be the last thing I think I want to talk about unless we just ramble on something. Sega is wanting to bring back one of its old dead franchises, and but they're making a vote. They're having everybody vote. So my question to you is because I don't there's like a bunch of different entries. So my question to you is if we were asked that question, what dead Sega franchise would you want to bring back?
What dead Sega franchise would I want to bring back?
And Sega and Sonic doesn't count because Sonic's not dead.
Yeah, well, to say Sonic is its own thing like Mario, but
Yeah, Sonic's not dead.
that's hard. That's a really difficult question because, in all honesty, like I was never that big on Sega to begin with. I
Mm,
owned a Sega, but
yeah.
most of the games that I played were on Super Nintendo. Like my Sega, for the most part, just sat there and collected dust. Every now and then I play a Sonic game or I play an RPG like Shining Force or something, but for the most part, I really didn't care about the Sega. I'm not gonna lie.
Huh.
It was. I'm not saying that it was a bad system. It's just that I had, a preference.
Right, 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 right.
So it's really hard for me to answer that question. But since I am an RPG guy, I'm just gonna say Shining Force, since that was a fun strategy RPG that I think they only made like two of, maybe three. I'm not sure. So I'd
That's
like to see
awesome.
that maybe.
That's awesome.
Um, so yeah, how about you?
Oh man, there's a lot. I kind of miss Shinobi. Um,
Okay.
um,
I think you and Chris used to play it a lot.
yeah,
Okay.
we used to play Shinobi. Like he had all the Shinobis. He had
Mm-hmm.
Shinobi 1, 2, and 3, and we used to play that a lot.
Okay.
And then we also used to play this game called Pit Fighter 2. But I
I've heard
actually,
of that.
huh? You heard of that?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have that on my Xbox One emulator. I play it,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not a game I would want to see revised. But Shinobi, and then there was this one fighting game like that me and Chris used to play. Like I can't remember the name, but it was like a
Is it Virtual Fighter or
no. It like
Dead or
had
Alive?
no nope. It was one that was like hardly ever known, and it like had these like different tiger. Like had this one character was a tiger, and this other guy like he could shoot things out of his eye, and like he could target you. I don't remember, but me and Chris used to get in like some mad fights over this game. Um,
Hmm.
because like one of us would know the powers and one of us wouldn't, so we'd be like, "Ah, oh, well you can't use the powers, okay?" And then one of us use the powers, and then we get mad at each other and we start punching each other. It was funny, but
Wow.
we used to play the game a lot, man. And then yeah, so whatever that game is, which I can't remember what it is, that game was fun. Um,
Okay.
yeah, man. Okay, so okay, since you're not a big Sega fan, out of your Nintendo series, which it can range from GameCube all the way to, wherever, 64, whatever. What dead franchise do you wish that would be brought back?
Well, Nintendo doesn't really have many dead franchises. That's the thing. So that's hard to say because a lot of my favorite Nintendo brands are still made. Of course, Mario, Zelda type stuff. Um, I would say even the RPG that I like, which is Fire Emblem, they still make those games too.
Yeah,
So
they do
it's
make them on
like
3DS.
they're going 3DS. I mean, they had them on the one of the Wii's recently.
Oh,
Not the Wii U, but a different one.
oh, thank you. I forget we're on Nintendo episode. You just reminded me, but go ahead. But go ahead. I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
I I don't really. There's really no dead franchise that I want to bring back because everything that they have that I like is still going.
Yeah, that's
That's how
true.
good Nintendo is.
Good point. So you mentioned the Wii U. Um, it's strange how I'm bringing all this Nintendo stuff to your light. Um, but yeah, it's funny. They as of last week they stopped production on the Wii U. No more Wii U's.
No more Wii U's, huh?
No more Wii U's.
Hmm.
So it's solely on this classic NES and solely on the Nintendo Switch right now for their new stuff for them to get like major revenue. So
Okay.
I
Well, I mean, the Wii U, a lot of people that have wanted already have it, and those of us who don't have it, if we do get it, I mean, I'm not. I'm sure that there are stores that will still be able to sell and will have it in stock. So it's. I don't think it's really a terrible thing. Um, because I think they've gotten the majority of their sales that they're gonna get. So
yeah
I'm okay with it.
yeah I wanted the Wii U, but I only wanted the Wii U for one game and one game only, and I'm sure you know what game that is. Do you know what game that is?
What game?
Smash Brothers. That's it.
Actually, I really like Mario Maker. I think that's a really cool concept.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that game.
That if I was to get a Wii U, it would be for Smash Bros. As well, but also for Mario Maker. That's had a big following. Like, there's actually a guy that I follow on my YouTube channel called Carl Sagan. So shout out to Carl Sagan. He does videos every so often of him beating everybody else's most difficult levels. So you see his struggles, and it's actually funny. Like, he's a very very funny guy. He is actually the very first person that I've ever seen do videos that I would say has gamer swag. And the
Mhm.
reason I say gamer swag is because there are certain games um, that just look cool if you do things right.
Right.
So how this came up was um, as I've probably mentioned before, I always watch the charity streams of Awesome Games Done Quick and Summer Day Games Done Quick.
Right.
Well, Carl Sagan a long time ago did Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island as a speed run. And some of that swag he was pulling, some of those moves that he was doing, all you could say was swag. Like, it was just the coolest thing in the world that if I was playing, I'd never be able to do it, kind of a thing.
Wow.
So he was the one, as far as I'm concerned, that came up with what I call gamer swag. Yeah, he probably does. Is not even aware of this right now, which is fine. But Yeah.
And he
So
probably won't for a while. Go
for
ahead.
a while, but that's the thing is now
Uh,
with Mario Maker, I mean, you can make all these crazy levels, and sometimes you need a little bit of swag just to beat them. So it's kind of cool. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, like definitely, if you get a Wii U, Mario Maker is probably the top game for you to get in all reality.
You know,
For you just to play, or if you want to create your own levels, you can do that too.
yeah, I've seen a lot of people on Twitch like they'll go and they'll um like they'll follow like they'll have like a follow like a follow channel or whatever, like a
Hmm.
follow night, and basically they'll try to beat their followers levels, and if they
Hmm.
beat them they get a prize, or if they don't beat them they get a prize or something. It's pretty cool. I do know with the Nintendo Switch they are talking about porting uh Super Smash Brothers to the Switch. So that'll be interesting.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what porting means, but basically what it pretty much means is that they'll it's the Wii U version, but they'll make it where it's playable on um
In the Switch, yeah.
yeah, on the Switch. Now
No, I get it.
they should do it on they should do Mario Maker that way too. Because that's gonna suck for people that you know because what if your Wii U breaks or something? You know what I mean? Then they can play Mario Maker.
Well, in all reality, I mean, system consoles don't break as often, especially Nintendo ones. Nintendo has always been good about having solid consoles that are not fragile.
Yeah.
So I don't really see that being an issue as far as what if it breaks. Like I don't know. That's not a big deal to me. And if you and for whatever reason it did break, I mean, you would just send it to the manufacturer to get it fixed. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
that's very true.
you would just have to wait a while. That's all it is to play again.
That's very true. And speaking of which, because I gotta say this story because I didn't get to say the story in the last two episodes, and
Okay.
you've mentioned it, and because you were talking about broken consoles. Okay, the person that we're inviting to PAX and the person I've been tech support with, well, um, this last couple of calls, like his Xbox just started, like, okay, so you have this like this menu screen, right? And and then for some reason like nothing was coming up, like it was pretty much just like nothing. And I was like, oh man, it's your internet. You can't broken that Xbox already, because the Xbox has only been a week old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like barely a week old. Well, long story short, due to time, um his Xbox was broken.
Wow.
He had to take it back to GameStop, and they gave him a because they called GameStop had to call Microsoft, and Microsoft was like, well, not much we could do. So what the guy did, considering went to the guy that sold him the Xbox. This is a brand new Xbox
Mm-hmm.
One S, mind you, and he only had it for a week. What they did was is he originally had the 500 gig Xbox One S, and I think they exchanged it either for the terabyte or the 2 terabyte Xbox One S, and yeah, so
Wow.
yeah, so I stand corrected. His Xbox was broken. Straight out of the box, practically. So,
Wow.
yeah.
But Microsoft seems to have had that stigma ever
Yeah.
since the whole Red Ring of Death thing when they first dropped their Xbox. Like, I don't know what's going on with Microsoft, but their consoles are just not what it should be for whatever reason. They're always having problems. Like, I don't even think Sony's ever had the problems. Well, I mean, Sony's had problems. Don't get me wrong, but not the kind of not in the dynamic that
Yeah,
Microsoft has had.
no, not in
Nintendo
the.
just doesn't have problems. So.
Yeah, yeah, and one thing I gotta mention about Nintendo. Okay, you hear about Lizard Squad and all these people attacking all these freaking online servers and all this stuff where you can't play online. You know what's funny? You know what system never gets attacked? I gotta.
Nintendo.
Nintendo never gets attacked. You never hear, oh, I
Hmm.
couldn't get online on my Nintendo today because of a DDS attack.
Hmm.
Just saying. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
If you want to have a good, reliable system, and you want to have a good, reliable game, maybe not the greatest games, some good games, yes. But if you want a reliable game that's always gonna work, and you want a system that's always gonna work, and you don't want to get attacked by DDS attacks this Christmas, buy a Nintendo. Buy a
That
Nintendo.
that used to be my biggest argument why I at the time was gonna stick with Nintendo products instead of Sony because Nintendo just had good hardware.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it was as simple as that. I mean, to be perfectly honest, the only reason that I ever switched to Sony was because of Final Fantasy. I'm not gonna lie,
yeah.
because once Nintendo had their dispute with their partner, and they ended up not doing the Final Fantasies anymore together, and they said, okay, well, we're going to create our own company, thus Sony. Um, I had to switch over because Final Fantasy was my thing, and I couldn't play it on Nintendo no more. So I switched to Sony, and then now I've been actually playing a lot more Sony than Nintendo, mainly because of RPGs for the most part. I mean, they have just a better variety and better selection of RPGs. Not to say Nintendo's had bad ones. A lot of Nintendo's RPGs in the past were fantastic. They really have some top of the line RPGs, but what hurt them was the whole. Because I mean, basically, for those who don't know the history of what happened, why Nintendo didn't stop doing Final Fantasies, because people that are younger might not know this history, so it's good to know.
This is very good to know.
Um,
I don't think I know this.
so in the beginning, Final Fantasy was solely Nintendo. You couldn't play a Final Fantasy game on Sega or anything like that.
Right.
So they were going to partner with someone to create a new Final Fantasy on their newest system. The problem is that the partner who had the Final Fantasy franchise wanted it to be on a disc.
Mm.
Unfortunately, Nintendo did not want to go disc and wanted to stick with cartridges.
Mhm.
And in order to do and it's not that they couldn't really do it on cartridges, it would just be really really difficult because of how much memory that they would have needed for the kind of project they were trying to do for
Mhm.
Final Fantasy 7.
I was gonna say, isn't this
So
for Final Fantasy 7? Yeah.
yeah, this is for Final Fantasy 7. So then Nintendo was like, well, they were kind of debating for a while what they were going to do. There was a lot of talks between them and the other company, and Nintendo said, you know what, we're just going to come out with the N64. We're going to make it cartridges. So when this other companies saw that, they were very upset and said, you know
Mhm.
what, we're done with you. And then that's what spawned Sony or Sony creating Final Fantasy because Sony was using discs. So they had enough power to do everything that they wanted to do in the game, thus making it a very successful game. So I will admit that Nintendo did miss out on that because of that. Now, not to say that Nintendo never had any more Final Fantasies anymore, because they did have one for I think GameCube called Crystal Chronicles or something like
Was that
that.
any good?
I I bought it, but then I ended up never playing it. It was really weird. Like I don't know, like I was so wrapped up in other things that Sony had that was 10 times better that I just didn't even want to give it a try. So I
Plus,
might have missed out.
yeah. Plus the
But from
GameCube
what I
was,
read about it, it didn't really get great reviews though.
yeah. Plus the GameCube was always our party system, and what I mean by party system is when we were all together. That's what we mainly played most of the time, was Mario Party and Mario Kart and stuff like that. Besides
Smash
wrestling.
Brothers. That's
Yeah.
kind of what 64 was too. 64 and GameCube, those were party systems. That's
Yeah.
literally what they were.
Yep.
Like if you wanted a system where that would cater to multiplayer games, the Nintendo 64 was where it was at. They had so many titles.
Yep.
And then you had four, ports that you can put your controllers in, which
Yep.
is something you couldn't get with Sony at the time because you had to
Mm-mm.
you had a multi tap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not to
Oh.
say, and it didn't hurt Sony not to have the four ports because Sony wasn't necessarily a party system anyway. It was
Yeah.
meant just to play good games, and if you wanted to have a second person, that was cool. You could do four people through the multi tap, but I
No.
mean, it was not really Sony's intention. I guess is
It
the best
was
way to put
it
it.
was poorly executed. You could tell it wasn't meant to be. It was like this. It was like, oh, Nintendo 64's got its beat. They got four ports that's actually meant to be there. Oh, well, let's just make a multi-tab. From a Sony, because I was a Sony guy. Okay, I can honestly say I'm the one that kind of pushed Dwight over to the Sony era because I had Final Fantasy before he did, I believe.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 before I did.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I had Final Fantasy 7 before he did, and he would come over and he'd be like, "Oh my god!" But anyway, I had a multi-tap, and I had so much problems with my multi-tap. It would always go out. It would always
yep,
it would always be too heavy. Like
yep,
it was like a big block, and then like you would plug it in, and the cord was like 2 inches long, and it would just hang down, and the weight of the hanging. This is why I don't hang stuff, but the weight of
right.
the hanging actually not only did it ruin my multi-tap, it ruined my port in my PS2, to be honest. Um,
Mm,
so that was a no go. I mean, and the only thing the port was really good for was wrestling. It really sucked for Madden. Like, you were better off to just play 2v2. I mean, 1v1 in Madden
yeah,
and
you were.
basketball.
Yeah, basically, wrestling was the only good thing as far as multi-tap was
Yeah.
concerned that I can
Mhm.
remember.
Mhm. Because
Um,
the GoldenEye,
yeah,
the GoldenEye series was not good on PlayStation. Once the Bonds franchise hit PlayStation, it died. As soon as it, I mean, as soon as I think it was Tomorrow Never Dies. As soon as Tomorrow Never Dies hit PlayStation, freaking the Bond series died. That was that was the most crappiest multiplayer I ever played. That was the most crappiest Bond I ever played. I I just didn't feel it at all. I don't know about you.
mm. Um, as far as Sony was concerned, I really wasn't big on their shooters. I'm not gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Like for Sony, I was more into their like RPGs and their fighting games, and that was really it.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, I wasn't really impressed. I mean, I did have a shooting game that we used to play for a little while. Uh, I don't know if it was a Bond game or if it was just a regular shooter game in general, but there was a game that I did have that we did play briefly. Because I remember me, you, Chris, and I think Matt used to get together and
For the PlayStation?
yeah, it was for PlayStation. Or it might have been PS2,
I think
but
it was I think it was a Bond game though, to be honest.
or maybe it was a Bond game. Okay, but I
Mhm.
mean, as far as playing one player, I didn't want to play it because it just wasn't that good. But even the multiplayer was like we'd rather hook
Eh,
up the N64 and play
yeah.
GoldenEye than play
Yeah.
the game more or less. So
Yeah, we were
playing the
more into
first one.
party games. Like we even play well, wait, no, I take that back. The only no, I take that back. The only party game we'd play on the PlayStation was My Game of Life. That was it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That game
But
was
you really
fun.
didn't even need a multi-tap for
No,
it. I mean, honestly, you could just share
but
controllers.
that game was fun
So
though. That game was
that
hilarious.
game was fun. It was yeah, it was.
um,
Wow.
I know a Nintendo game I want to bring back.
What's
It's a
that?
64 game. I want to bring Turok back.
Torok was good. You're right. Torok was good. That wow, that's good.
Tur
I like it. I think the last one that they made was Rage Wars, if I'm not mistaken,
I
and that was the Turok that was all multiplayer. Like they didn't actually have a one-player adventure mode. Like you can play one player, but it
right.
was all multiplayer scenarios. Like there
Yeah.
was no actual like actual like navigating through a map and doing this and doing that. It was all just here it's you versus these three, and you had an objective kind of a thing, or it's you and a computer teammate versus whatever.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Turok to me was fun. I don't know
Torque
what
was fun.
I don't know what it was, but and we had GoldenEye and we had Perfect Dark, but still Turok was fun.
It
Um,
was fun. We used to play Turok too, and we did play some Turok Rage Wars, and those were legitimately fun. We did have fun with those,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So that would be
Just it was a lot of futuristic weapons that were really really cool. You know what I mean?
hence why I like
Yeah,
Call
we
of
just had a good
Duty.
time.
I'm just saying.
No, yeah,
But
fair
yeah,
enough.
the, definitely. I can't believe I just thought of that just out of the fly like that. All of a sudden, like it just popped in my brain. Turok. I remember.
Beware, Oblivion is at hand.
Yes.
You remember what that code was for?
Oh, wasn't it like a god code or ghost code?
Yeah, basically, if you put that code in, you got access to all weapons, all levels, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Wasn't Matt the one that showed us the code?
Nope, it was Brandon.
It was Burnden? I call him. I'm sorry, I call him Burnden because of his name tag recently. Yeah, did you see it when he was in town that one time?
Uh-uh.
Okay, when he came to visit me and he was working at the Walmart here in San Antonio, well, they didn't have the rest of his name. They didn't have an A, so he just got a bunch of R's, and so his name was Burndon. And, and it was when my wife first met him for the first time, and she's like, "Babe," and I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Is his name really Burndon?" And I was like, "No, babe, it's Brandon." But it was funny. But so we would just call him Burndon. She'd be like, "What's up, Burndon?"
That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Wow.
man, yeah. Old Burndon, man. Wonder where he's at right
Uh,
now.
I don't know either.
Oh no, but yeah, I mean, I definitely would enjoy to see that game. Now, you know who'd probably take that game would be Xbox. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
probably.
It's like more like an Xbox title, but and they got Killer Instinct too, which I didn't know. I did not know this. I found this out last night while watching a Beam thing about Xbox on Beam. Um,
Okay.
an old Nintendo creator that used to help make the Ninja Gaiden games and the Killer Instinct games, all this stuff, right? He used to work
Hmm.
for Nintendo, but when Xbox came out, the first Xbox, because his goal was to get Nintendo online, like he was already envisioning it, right? But
Hmm.
Nintendo at the time was like, "No, we don't want to do online." You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So he went to Xbox, and now here we are. And this is why we have
Ah,
Killer Instinct. Well, because it was ultimately his ultimate dream to have Killer Instinct played online against people across the world.
that's
And
cool. And Killer Instinct was a good fighting series too. I remember I used to have Killer Instinct Gold for N64, if I'm not mistaken,
it's
and it was good.
it still is a good series. It's free to play on the Xbox One, but the only downside that I do not like about Killer Instinct for the Xbox One is that to get characters, you have to buy seasons or you have to buy the characters individually. I'm not a fan of that.
Oh, so you can't actually earn them to play in the game?
Nope. You only get 3 characters if you download the game free, and then or you can like buy the game, which is like $20, $30, and then it comes with like all the characters in season 3. But if you get the free to play version, you either have to buy the characters individually or season passes.
See, they're really ruining the definition of free to play. That is not free to play. Let's
I
number one
know.
that.
I know.
If you have to buy something and physically have to pay money in order to have something and not have the optional grinding for it, it is not free to play. Simple as that. People need to quit with that free to play slogan and using it incorrectly. Free
Yes.
to play means that this game is free. You can finish the game for free. You can have every character and everything in the game for
For free.
free
Yep.
as long as you play and do whatever you need to do in game to unlock it. If I
Yep.
have to pay any kind of money to have something that I cannot have otherwise, your game is no longer free to play.
And
Simple as that.
and to be honest, it's the only reason why I don't play it because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like I think one character is like $9, bro. I'm not paying $9
Wow.
for a character. I'm not. I'm
Nope.
not. It's just not even worth it to me. I'll go play Mortal Kombat. I'll get Mortal Kombat, pay $40 for Mortal Kombat, and get all the characters. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yeah, I could do that, but the fact that it's still free, I can get it for free on the market, and I start to like that's just I don't understand. Like I don't get it. I
People are
understand.
abusing the free to play slogan. That's all they're doing. That's just a marketing scheme that's terrible. It's really false advertisement. I hate it. That's something that gets me heated. So that's why I'm
And
trying not to
and,
destroy this podcast. But
you're fine. And what I'm hearing about is that eventually that's what Call of Duty's gonna go to. And if that happens, then my Call of Duty career is over. Cause I'm not, I'm not gonna
no,
sit
free to
there.
play.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play a fake free to play unless it's real free to play. Now, mind you, Microsoft does have some real good free to play games that are actually free to play. Like they have some good MMOs and some good RPGs, but they're
Mm-hmm.
just so big that I just don't download them because I need space for other reasons. Um,
Right.
you know, but I was very disappointed about Killer Instinct, man, because as of right now, I don't have a good fighting game. I know I
Oh,
had that
but
for the 360, but I
oh,
got
did
rid
you?
of. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. But no, I currently, as far as like, I don't really play any fighting games at the moment, but I currently don't own anything for any systems that I'm playing anyway. So,
That's true.
like I said, I've been more sticking to RPGs lately, so that's kind of where I'm at the moment. And of course, my trading card games, but that's about it.
I take that back. I do own a fighting game, but for some reason, okay, so I have Xbox Live, of course, but for some reason, and Tekken 2, or I have Tekken Tag Tournament 2, but for some reason now, when I go to play the backwards compatibility of Tekken Tag, it says I need to be signed into an Xbox Live account. And I go to sign
Mm-hmm.
in, and then it says that I don't have Xbox Live. But with the same account, I go back to my Xbox One, I'm on Xbox Live. So technically, I can't play Tekken Tag because the main reason why I play Tekken Tag is to kick people's butt online, and
Mm.
you know what I
It's not
mean.
letting you do it.
It's not letting me do it. So right now, and it sucks because I was getting ready to make my video and do all kinds of stuff, because now I have my setup the way that I want. Um,
Mm.
but now I can't do it, so I don't have a good fighting game
That
at the
sucks.
moment. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. But so far this is a pretty good episode. Is there anything else you want to discuss, man?
No, I think that'll do it for the day. I think we've pretty much put a lot of good content on here. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe to OG Crunksta's channel, which is mine, or you can also subscribe to our dear friend Handikillcam's channel. Actually, subscribe to both of us
Yeah,
if you
describe
want
to
to.
both of us.
It's a thing. If
Yes.
you want to see some good shooters and other good content, go to him. If you want to see some mobile gaming, specifically Hearthstone, definitely go to me and just enjoy it. And we hope you guys enjoy the video. Feel free to like, and you guys take it easy.
Take it easy. Uh, do 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 do.